Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. Our lesson today is Reflexive Verbs, Part 1, Concept Check. We have 4 clusters. Our first cluster is going to tell us what the action of a reflexive verb does. The action of a reflexive verb happens back to the subject of the verb. For example, acostarse. If I say I go to bed at 10, me acuesto a las 10, I'm putting myself to bed. So the action of putting someone to bed, I'm putting myself to bed, it happens back to me. But if I want to say I put the kids to bed at 8 o'clock, acuesto a los niños a las 8 de la noche. So in a reflexive verb, the action of the verb happens back to the subject of the verb. What happens if you use a reflexive verb non-reflexively over here without the say on it? What happens when you use it non-reflexively? Well, the action of the verb happens to someone or something other than the subject of the verb. For example, I get up early in the morning. Me levanto temprano en la mañana. Mom gets up early as well. Mamá se levanta temprano también. If you want to say, I lift the boxes carefully. Levanto las cajas con cuidado. Levanto. Levantarse is to get yourself up, like out of bed. Me levanto tarde, I get up late. Me levanté tarde, I got up late. From when you wake up, despertarse, and when you levantarse, that could be a big difference. There are those people, right? Se despiertan a las 6 y se levantan a las 6. They wake up at 6 and they get up at 6. But there are people that se levantan a las 6 se despiertan a las 6 y se levantan a las 7:30, right? How many of you out there wake up at a given hour and it's a half hour, it's 45 minutes later by the time you crawl out of bed? Now, I'm retired, so that could be my case because I get up and sometimes, or wake up, and sometimes I like to look at the phone and read the news, right? But normally, if you're a working individual, that alarm goes off, you're up within a couple of minutes getting ready for work. Let's go back to our first cluster. Acostarse is to go to bed. Acostar is to put somebody to bed, like I'm going to put the kids to bed right now. Ahorita voy a acostar a los niños. Levantarse, I always get up early. Siempre me levanto temprano. Levantar, used non-reflexively, is to lift. Who's going to lift the box? ¿Quién va a levantar la caja? Who's going to lift all this? ¿Quién va a levantar todo esto? Lavarse is to wash, to get washed. We say in English to get washed. Well, I'm going to go get washed. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to wash my face. Wash your hands. Voy a lavarme la cara. I'm going to wash my face. Voy a lavarme las manos. I'm going to wash my hands. If you want to tell your son or daughter to wash their hands, you say, lávate las manos, lávate las manos. Usted, in public, if you want to tell an usted person to wash their hands, you'd say, lávese las manos, lávese las manos. Lavar would be to wash something other than your own body, right? If you're going to say, I'm going to wash the kids, voy a lavar a los niños, you can do that. But we wash things like plates, lavar los platos, lavar el carro, lavar lo que sea. Wash whatever it is. Prepararse is to get yourself ready for something like an exam coming up. You say, necesito prepararme. I need to get prepared. The teacher prepares us for the exam would be la maestra nos prepara para el examen. That's used non-reflexively because the teacher's not preparing herself. She's preparing us over there for the test. So, necesito prepararme, I need to get ready. I'm going to get ready for the test. Voy a prepararme para el examen. If you're a teacher, I'm going to get the kids ready for the test. I'm going to prepare the kids for the test. Voy a preparar a los estudiantes para el examen. Who's going to prepare dinner? ¿Quién va a preparar la cena? ¿Quién va a preparar la cena? Right? If you say, mamá prepara la cena, mamá is the subject, and who's getting prepared? Not mom, the food over here. So the action is happening to someone or something other than the subject. Mamá prepara la comida. A reflexive verb, concept check. The action of the verb happens back to the subject of the verb. And that subject could be anybody from I, you, me, he, it, us, we, it could be any subject. For example, we go to bed late. Nos acostamos tarde. Right? How about despertarse is to wake up, and this is to wake up, or technically to awaken. Despertarse, I wake up at 6. Me despierto a las 6. Dad wakes up at 5. Papá se despierta a las 5. Mom wakes up at 7. Mamá se despierta a las 7. How about we wake the kids up at 7? That would be despertamos a los niños a las 7. If you want to say, I wake up the kids at 6, despierto a los niños a las 6 de la mañana. Lastimarse is to hurt yourself, to get hurt. Like, me lastimé. I got hurt. Me lastimé la cabeza. I hurt my head. Me lastimé la mano. I hurt my hand. But if you want to say, like for a boxing match, okay? Tal y tal, so-and-so, lastimó a su oponente. Hurt his opponent. Lastimar a, that would be to hurt someone else. Of course, that's an ugly thought, right? You don't want to hurt anyone. Me lastimé, I got hurt. I hurt myself. Nos lastimamos, we got hurt. Say after a game, there's some kids that were really rough in the game and they got a penalty for being extra rough. And the kids come home a little bit banged up and injured, and mom asked them, ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? They hurt us. Nos lastimaron. Nos lastimaron. Asustarse is to get scared. I get scared easily. Me asusto fácilmente. Mom gets scared easily. Mamá se asusta fácilmente. Dad got scared. Papá se asustó. We got scared. Nos asustamos. The scare happens back to the subject. That's reflexive. If you jump out and scream and scare somebody else, if you want to say like, I scared the kids, like on Halloween night. Asusté a los niños, right? Asusté a los niños. You want to say they scared us? Nos asustaron. They didn't scare themselves. It's not reflexive. Se asustaron. It's nos asustaron. They did the scaring, but we're the ones that got scared, right? So the action of the verb is happening to someone other than the subject when you use them non-reflexively. Bañarse. I take a bath every day. Me baño todos los días. Me baño por la mañana. Mom likes to take her bath at night. Mamá se baña durante la noche. Papá se baña en la mañana. Y yo me baño también en la mañana. If you're a parent and you got to bathe the kids, voy a bañar a los niños. Okay, our lesson is reflexive verbs 1. A reflexive verb is where the action of the verb happens back to the subject. A reflexive verb used non-reflexively, as we see here on these two clusters on the right side, is where the action of the verb is happening to someone other than the subject. So make sure you know the difference between a reflexive verb and a reflexive verb used non-reflexively. Again, let's review. Acostarse is to put yourself to bed, to go to bed. Acostar is to put somebody else to bed, like your grandma or your kids, the baby. Levantarse is to get up, like to get up out of bed, physically to get up out of bed. Levantar is to lift. Lavarse is to wash yourself, right? Voy a lavarme el pelo, I'm gonna wash my hair. Voy a lavarme la cara, I'm gonna wash my face. Me lavo las manos, I wash my hands. Mom says to Johnny, Johnny, ¿te lavaste las manos? Did you wash your hands before dinner, right? ¿Te lavaste las manos? That's reflexive. Lavar is to wash something other than yourself, like to wash the dishes, wash a car. Prepararse is to get yourself ready for something. Like we give the example, get ready for an interview, get ready for an exam, get ready for a test. Preparar is to prepare someone, like teacher to students. I'm going to prepare the kids. Voy a preparar a los niños, a los estudiantes, para que puedan pasar al examen, so they can pass the test. Despertarse is to wake up, to awaken. Despertar is to wake somebody up other than yourself. Lastimarse is to get hurt. Lastimar is to hurt someone other than yourself. Asustarse is to get scared. Asustar is to scare someone other than yourself. Bañarse is to bathe yourself. Bañar is to bathe someone other than yourself. So this is just a concept check. So hopefully now you know that reflexive verbs can be used non-reflexively, and if that's the case, the action of the verb is happening to someone else. But if a reflexive verb is used reflexively with a pronoun, then the action of the verb is happening back to the subject. Okay? That's it. Es todo por ahora. Hasta la próxima lección. Gracias.